What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video today. So you've probably heard we have a Dragon tournament starting tomorrow with special challenges. It's not the first time we've seen this. We've had it before, which was an all rares tournament. Now we've just had the confirmation that this will be an all same faction tournament. So you've got to come up with a team, regardless of legendary, epic, or rare champions, to beat Dragon stages. So this might pose a few problems for you guys. It certainly has for me. I have teams that can do it end game, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. But what I want to do, is to go over some of the factions that might be better. That might have a higher possibility of having some champions that would have a good synergy for you to progress, right? So let's jump right into the index. I think that'll be a good way to do it. And then I'll show you some screenshots of what I've tried so far. High Elves, in my opinion, is a very likely that you would have a team that can pull it off relatively quickly. I'm not talking about all rares. I'm talking literally having something like 2 Royal Guards, right? A Tyrell, Apothecary you could put in there. Reliquary Tender is also pretty solid. If you have Arbiter, that's pretty good as well. So like you can go very offensive, glass cannon with High Elves, therefore this would be really fast. Okay, not to mention if you have something like Ithos, it would be pretty crazy. But as for myself, I don't have 2 Royal Guards. I don't even have Tyrell, so it is not my best team, okay? And I'll get to that in a second. Sacred Order, kind of like Banner Lords, I don't see this having a very efficient team. At least not with the champions that we've gotten for relatively, not free, but like accessible champions, right? Like Killian the Lucky, Stag Knight, Horden. I mean, those are not champions that you typically see in Dragon stages. As for Barbarians, though, I'm going to show you guys a screenshot, but I think you have a decent team here. It's not fast, but it is kind of safe. I'm gonna say safe because some of the champions that you have, like Salve the Drakes, if you have her already, have the revive on them, the increased speed, right? The AoE stun, which is great for the waves. We've gotten the High Katoon for free. We also have access to the War Maiden, the Berserker, although it's not good against all the affinities. You might have Soulbound Warrior, you might have Marked. So overall, these are good champions, and so you might be able to work out a team from this faction. Next up, Ogryn Tribes. Again, I don't really see any of these champions typically in Dragon 20, maybe Bellower in a stun set or offensive, but like for the rest of these champions, not exactly best in slot. Lizardman faction, we do have access to Rosin in a sense, but like I don't see the rest of these champions being really helpful for a Dragon 20, so I would probably stay away from that. The Skinwalkers, a little bit of the same thing here. Maybe you can work out a team with Steel Skull if you have it, but looking at the rares, aside from perhaps Fleshmonger, I'm not really convinced you have a workable team here. If you have Brachus the Shifter, great, but like I don't think he's enough to take on the whole stage, right? Especially not level 20. Orcs, you might have a decent team if you have Seer. Kreela and Seer together might be able to pull it off, but it really depends on your other champions. Do you have any sustainability, something like a Vrask? I personally don't. Maybe you built a veteran. This would be pretty decent to have in like the lead position. I tried it myself. It kind of failed because most of my champions here are built glass cannon, kind of like Ultimate Gaelic, Zargala, Kreela, Seer, and veteran. That didn't do much for me, but those are the only champions I have built right now. So that's the biggest issue for me. It's that, do I want to go out of my way to build champions to do this? Unless the rewards are extraordinary, I don't see this being sort of like something to, you know, build a team specifically for this, right? So for me, it was about grabbing a Faction Wars team to see if it could work. In here we have, what is it, the Demon Spawn. I guess if you have some of the legendaries, it could be pretty easy. I don't, right? So, I mean, maybe some Soul Drinkers, not really. So I don't really see a viable team here right off the bat. You can't reduce the turn meter of the dragon, therefore Allure is a little bit useless. I'm gonna say no good for Demon Spawn. Undead Horde, I do have some good champions. I'm not gonna lie, I have some pretty solid champions. I have a good team built for the last stage of Faction Wars. Rotos is in there. I have the Battle Khazar. I have the Harvest Jack. So I'll show you guys a screenshot. I definitely made something out of this faction right here. Looking at some of the champions from the epics and the rares, I mean, you could use obviously Frozen Banshee, an excellent poisoner. So chances are you can get a decent team going from Undead Hordes, right? So my money would be a little bit more on them. Dark Elves, same thing here. You could literally have a team of Cold Hearts and make that work if you have some of the other champions here to sustain that team for you to get to the boss, right? We do have like options Crimson Helm here, which is pretty good. Madame Cerise, which is really strong. So I'm going to say that Dark Elves has a high probability of providing you a decent team to pull it off. Unfortunately, mine is way too glass cannon and it doesn't work, okay? It's not because you have the champions that your team is ready to go. Again, it's built for Faction Wars, not for Dragon 20. Knight Rev, I mean, you could have a pretty decent team if you have a miscreated monster, maybe even a Spulker Sentinel if you wanted. Skull Crown is pretty amazing as well. We don't have excellent poisoners here, I think, right? I mean, if you have Tomb Lord, maybe, but I'm going to say that it's a little bit of a hit or miss for Knight Rev, right? I think you need a really good comp to make it work. And then Dwarf, sorry, we could have something like the Trunda with the Torment for a lot of crowd control. I mean, this could somewhat work, but again, we don't seem to have excellent poisoners here, so I'm going to say probably not the fastest, okay? So all that being said, here's some screenshots of teams that I've tried myself with just my existing teams. Okay, again, I said that I do not want to go out of my way to try and get this done. So High Elves, because I don't have Tyrell, which I would put in the place of Jingle Hunter, it's relatively slow. I say slow, I mean for you guys this might be fast, but I can do it. And this is safe. I know I'm probably not going to die. It's just going to be either, you know, maybe you're going to get lucky, you're going to get faster runs, but overall it's going to be relatively slow, okay? And this is my exact team for Faction Wars. I'm not changing anything. Then we have the Undead Hordes, which is probably my better team for the time being because I have the Battle Khazar, obviously. Rotos being pretty solid. We have a Revive here. We have a Mausoleum Mage and a shield set, Harvest Jack and a shield set. So, like, I'm in no danger of dying here. If anything, if my Battle Khazar was faster, this would be a lot faster, but still, this is my best option for the time being. One, though, that I think is more accessible to everyone, and this is my exact Faction Wars team, and my money is going to be on Barbarians for you guys, is a team of these accessible champions, right? I mean, Haikatun you get for free, farmable, you get for free, and then this was a fusion. So you could replace Kantra with anything else you have available, but like this is, like I said, as is for my Faction Wars. And I kind of like it because, again, it's probably the most accessible team that I have so far that can do stage 20. Obviously, once you get high success rate, then you want to try and speed things up. So my money is going to be on this team right here for the upcoming tournament tomorrow. Now, this could be a lot better for me. In fact, one of the best builds I'm going to say out there that people are going to use is a solo Battle Khazar. Because I'm pretty sure if you put a solo champion, it's going to count towards that faction, right? Heck, you could put a solo Battle Khazar with 4 food. Just grab 4 commons from the Undead faction. That would still work. They're going to die pretty early, but you don't care. Then you're going to solo and do food at the same time with your Battle Khazar, right? But again, mine is not anywhere close to having the right stats to pull this off. Another example of a solo champion you could use is this budget champion Torture Helm. So if you have this guy built, he can probably pull it off as well. Same thing, you put that guy in the lead, solo, with 4 common foods of the Orcs faction, and then you're good to go. So you're doing food at the same time, and you're doing this tournament. If you want to push for first place, though, I'm guessing some people are going to go for like full-on glass cannon, high nuking power. So like something with a combination of Royal Guards and Ithos is probably going to be like a pretty good team, or anything that have a combination of like a couple Cold Hearts with anything in here that can make it work is also going to be quite viable, right? So guys, all that being said, I just wanted to quickly give my 2 cents on this new tournament. Again, I'm not going out of my way for this first version of it, but get prepared for the next one, right? And then start thinking about the other dungeons as well. Are you going to have a faction or Fire Knight team? Are you going to have a Spider team? Are you going to have the Ice Golem team? So Put all this into consideration, but also let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.